She wanted to know if you were loyal. She wanted proof you would never leave. Instead of talking to you, she listened to her friends. They told her to push you, hurt you, pretend she was done with the marriage. They said if you cried, begged, or broke down, it meant you loved her. If you stayed calm, it meant you were hiding something. She thought it was harmless. She thought you would fail the test. But when she walked out that door, she had no idea what you were about to do. She thought she would win. She had no idea she was about to lose everything. But before I tell you what happened that day, do not forget to subscribe, leave a like, and share your thoughts in the comments. She wanted to know if you were loyal. You learned those words days later. In the moment, you had no idea why she walked into the kitchen that morning with a cold face and tight jaw. No warning, no fight, no explanation. She dropped her wedding ring on the counter like it meant nothing and said she wanted a break. No tears, no trembling voice, no emotion. Every part of her performance was clean and practiced. You remember staring at that ring, waiting for her to laugh or smile or say something loving. Except she didn't. She looked at you the way strangers look past each other on a busy street. You asked if something happened. She said she needed space. You asked if you hurt her. She said she didn't want to talk. You stood there searching her eyes for one piece of truth. You found nothing. She walked into the bedroom and dragged out a suitcase, clothes thrown inside without folding. She wanted you to see it. You followed her, mind racing. What are you doing? You asked. She kept packing. Talk to me. She zipped the suitcase and faced you. I am leaving. Your heart dropped. You asked why. She gave the same robotic answer. I do not want this marriage. Nothing about her felt real. She was too calm, too distant. You tried to hold her hand. She pulled away. You tried to hug her. She stepped back. Every move was stiff, like she was acting out a script. You walked to the living room while she called a friend to pick her up. You heard quiet laughter on the phone. That hurt more than the words. You sat down, trying to breathe, trying to think, trying not to fall apart. Part of you believed her. Part of you felt something off. No marriage ends like a weather report. Not yours. When her friend's car pulled up, she grabbed the handle of the suitcase and headed toward the door. You stood. If you walk out, don't come back. You expected her to fight for you. She didn't. She said fine and left. No kiss, no goodbye. No hesitation. The silence that followed punched you in the chest. You sat on the couch, staring at the front door. Your phone stayed quiet. Minutes turned into hours. You reached for your ring, twisting it, thinking maybe this was your fault. You checked the messages from the past week. Every conversation was loving, normal, warm. Nothing hinted at this. At midnight, you opened the apps on her tablet. You never snooped before. You didn't want to start now, but your life fell apart in one morning, and you needed a reason. You found a group chat with her friends. The truth hit you like a hammer. They planned this. Her closest friend typed the idea. Test him. Pretend you want a breakup. If he cries or begs, he cares. If he acts strong, he is cheating. Another wrote, make him believe you are serious. Leave the house. Watch what he does. Then the worst line. If he falls apart, you win. You stared at the screen, pulse shaking. You read every message twice. They told her to lie. She agreed. They told her to leave the ring. She agreed. They told her to hurt you for fun. She agreed. You sat there with a choice. You could cry. You could call her. You could explode. Give them the reaction they wanted. Or you could do something else. You stood, walked into the bedroom, and opened your own suitcase. Your hands were steady. Your heart was not. You packed fast. You took only what mattered: clothes, wallet, keys, one framed photo from your wedding. You grabbed the ring on the counter and slipped it into your pocket. You sat down for a moment and looked around the apartment. Walls full of memories, a couch where you stayed up watching shows together, a table marked with small scratches from long nights of talking and laughing. Everything felt poisoned. You left a note on the kitchen table. 2 short sentences. Thank you for the lesson. Goodbye. You turned off the lights and walked out. No drama, no anger, no tears. You drove across town to your brother's house. He opened the door half asleep, shocked to see a suitcase in your hand. You told him you needed a place to stay. He asked if something happened. You shook your head. I will explain tomorrow. You slept on his couch that night. Not well. Every time your eyes closed, you saw her face. Every time your mind drifted, you heard her friends laughing. In the morning, your brother made coffee and waited. You told him everything. He stared for a long time, stunned. Then he said the words, "You never forgot. You did not lose a wife. You dodged a liar. You spent the next 2 days in silence. No calls, no messages. You blocked her friends' numbers. You stayed offline. You wanted space, not from the marriage, from the game." On the 3rd day, your phone rang. Her name on the screen. You let it go to voicemail. She called again and again until you finally answered. Her voice shook. "Where are you?" "Gone." "What does that mean?" "It means you got what you wanted." "A breakup." She started crying, loud and messy. Very different from the cold act in the kitchen. It was a test. "I was going to tell you. I swear, you stayed quiet. I never planned to leave for real. My friends said I should. They said you would chase me. You always chase me." You closed your eyes, listening to her sob. "You were supposed to come after me," she said. "But you didn't. You disappeared." "Why would you do that?" "Because I am not a toy," you said. "You want to know if I care? I packed my things and left my home. Does that sound like someone who does not care?" She went silent. You heard her breathing hard, trying to think of a response. Then she said the line that finished everything. "You failed the test." Your jaw tightened. "No, you failed the marriage," she begged. She apologized. She swore she loved you. She blamed her friends, blamed stress, blamed fear. But you were done listening. A marriage is trust or nothing. And she decided trust was optional. At the end of the call, she whispered, "Where are you?" "Far from you," you said. The next day, she showed up at your brother's house. She knocked for 10 minutes. You stood behind the curtain and watched her cry on the porch. You opened the door only because your brother asked you to talk to her. The moment she walked inside, she tried to hug you. You stepped back. "Say what you came to say," you told her. Her cheeks were wet. Her hair was a mess. No makeup. "No pride. I am sorry," she said. "I thought testing you would help me trust you." You stared at her ring finger. "No ring. Where is your ring?" you asked. Her voice broke. "I left it at home." "You should go get it." She looked confused. "Why?" "Because you will need it for the next man." "Not for me." Her eyes widened. Her voice collapsed. "You are ending this over a mistake?" "No," you said. "I am ending this because you played with my heart like a toy." And for the first time, she had nothing to say. "You are ending this over a mistake?" "No, I am ending this because you played with my heart like a toy." She stood frozen in your brother's living room. Her hands shook. Her breath came fast and shallow. For once, she did not have a script. She reached for your arm, but you stepped back. She lowered her hand slowly, like her body no longer knew what to do. "Please," she said. "Sit with me. Talk to me. I need you to hear me." You stayed standing. "Talk." She wiped her face with her sleeve. "I got scared. I thought you were pulling away. My friends told me you might be hiding something. They said if I tested you, I would know. They said a breakup test was smart." "They are not your friends," you said. She shook her head. "I know that now. They are gone. I told them to leave me alone." Your brother waited in the kitchen, silent, watching over the edge of his cup. He did not trust her. You could feel that tension in the room. She stepped closer. "I love you." "That is not love." Her voice cracked. "Then tell me what love is." "Love is not walking out to see if I chase you. Love is not calling me weak if I cry. Love is not a game with winners and losers. She pressed her lips together. I messed up. No, you broke trust. That is not a small thing. She sat down on the couch, shoulders slumped. I wanted proof you cared. I wanted to feel needed. You wanted attention. You wanted control. She looked up fast, shocked. No, that is not fair. Look at your actions. You threw your ring on the counter. You packed your suitcase. You left me with no explanation. All because your friends wanted drama. She buried her face in her hands. I hate myself for this. Your brother stepped forward. He gave everything to this marriage. He worked long hours. He planned your future. He never betrayed you. And you reward him with a performance. She whispered, I know. You sighed and sat down across from her. Not next to her. Distance felt right. You had doubts, you said. You could have talked to me. I would have listened. Instead, you stabbed us both. I thought you would stop me, she said. I thought you would cry and beg me to stay. So you wanted to see me hurt? No. I wanted to see you fight for us. You wanted proof, you said. You had it. Every single day. But that was not enough. She tried to grab your hand again. You pulled away. She flinched like you hit her. Her voice turned small. What do I have to do? Nothing. You already made the choice, she shook her head. I will change my number. I will block my friends. I will go to counseling. I will delete every person who told me to hurt you. You stared at her. She was desperate, broken, but not because she loved you, because she lost control. You don't trust me, you said. She swallowed. I want to. I need help. And you will get help. Alone, she cried harder, wiping tears with trembling hands. Your brother placed a glass of water on the table. She ignored it and looked straight at you. I know I do not deserve forgiveness. But please, don't leave me. You left me first, you said. She shook her head fast. No, I did not leave. I walked out to see if you would stop me. That is leaving. She closed her eyes, crushed by your words. You felt your own chest tighten. You were tired, hurt, angry. But you were in control. She was not expecting that. She stood and walked toward the door. If you change your mind, I will be waiting. You did not answer. She turned the knob, then paused. Where are we supposed to go from here? She asked. To the truth, you said. She nodded weakly and stepped outside. Your brother locked the door behind her. You sat down, drained. And for a long time, neither of you spoke. Later that night, she texted. Long messages, apologies, promises, photos of her crying. You read none of them. You blocked the number. You deleted the messages. 2 days passed. Peace returned. Your brother asked if you wanted to go home. You shook your head. You slept better on that couch than you had in your own bed. Then something strange happened. She showed up again. Not alone. Her father stood beside her on the porch. A quiet man. A man who never raised his voice. He knocked once. You hesitated but opened the door. He asked to speak with you. You invited him in. She followed with her eyes on the floor. Her father sat in the living room. He looked tired, disappointed. She told me everything, he said. Every ugly detail. You waited. You gave her love. She gave you fear. I raised her better than that. No excuses. No stories. She hurt you. I want to apologize for her. He glanced at his daughter. She looked close to collapse. You stayed silent. Her father cleared his throat. She wants one chance to fix this. If you agree, I will help her. I will make sure those friends never come near her again. You stared at the floor. Fixing trust is not simple. I know, he said. But you loved my daughter. You built a life with her. She was foolish. She let poison in her head. She needs help. Your wife wiped her face. I miss you. I sleep on the floor because the bed feels wrong. I look at your toothbrush and I break down. I threw away the ring that night. Then I dug through the trash at 3 a.m. to find it. You started, breathing harder. She reached into her pocket and pulled out the ring. Scratched, bent, dirty. She placed it on the table. I ruined us, she said. But if you give me one small chance, I will spend the rest of my life fixing what I broke. Your jaw clenched. Her father watched you with steady eyes. This was not a test. No audience, no friends, only truth. You picked up the ring, held it in your hand. The weight felt different. I will not go back to the way things were, you said. I do not want the past, she whispered. I want something stronger. You stood and walked to the doorway. They followed. You opened the door and stepped outside. You want a chance? You said. Here is the first step. You go home, alone. You stay away from your friends. You start counseling. You stop every game. If you do all of that for 1 month, we talk. Not before, she nodded fast. Her father nodded too. No lies, you said. No tests. One slip and we are done. She swallowed. I will do everything you asked. Your voice stayed cold. I will see for myself. She stepped forward and hugged you tight. You did not hug back, but you did not push her away. She cried into your shirt until her father pulled her back. They left. You closed the door. Your brother let out a breath he held for too long. You think she will stop? He asked. We will find out. You went to bed that night with the ring still in your hand. Not on your finger, not in the trash. Resting on the nightstand, waiting. Yes, you said. Start chapter 3. You woke before sunrise, still holding the ring. You stared at the small piece of metal and wondered how something so small tore apart something so big. You slipped it into the drawer. Not to wear, not to throw away. A reminder of the line she crossed. Days passed slow, quiet, focused. She sent no messages, no calls, no uninvited visits. You expected her to break the rules within hours. You expected her friends to start trouble again. They didn't. The silence felt strange. Calm. Maybe too calm. 1 week later, her father called your brother's phone. Not yours. He asked if you would talk. You said no. Not yet. Your wife started therapy, he said. She blocked the friends, deleted their numbers, returned the ring to a jeweler to be cleaned. She stayed home. She worked. She slept alone. She cried. She listened. You thanked him and hung up. Another week passed. The world felt different. You stopped thinking about what she might be doing. You started thinking about yourself. You returned to your apartment. Same walls, same furniture, same bed. But something felt lighter, as if the storm passed, even if the damage remained. The next morning, a letter waited on your porch. Plain envelope, your name on the front. No fancy handwriting, no perfume. Inside, 1 page, no begging, no manipulation, no guilt. Her words were simple. I am sorry. I was selfish. I destroyed trust. I am working every day to fix myself. Not for you, for me. If you ever feel ready to talk, I will be here. If you decide you are done, I will understand. No signature. You folded the paper and placed it beside the ring. A few days later, her father called again. Your brother answered. He handed the phone to you. She is doing better, her father said. Not healed, not fixed, but better. She respects your space. She said 1 month means 1 month. You nodded. Good. Do you want to see her when the time is up? You hesitated. Yes. The month passed. Slow, careful. You worked. You slept. Some nights you dreamed of her. Some mornings you woke up missing her hand on your back. But you stayed strong. The day arrived. No call. No text. No knock. You waited until noon. Then you drove to her father's house. He opened the door and stepped aside. Your wife sat on the couch, slimmer, tired, but different. No makeup, no mask, no lies hiding in her eyes. She stood. Thank you for coming. You nodded. Sit. She sat. You sat across from her. How is counseling? You asked. I go twice a week, she said. I talk about everything. My fears, my jealousy, my need for control, my friends who kept pushing drama into my head. I let them poison me. You tell the truth? Yes. You watched her. She didn't bend under your stare. She didn't cry. She didn't reach for your hand. She let the silence sit between you instead of trying to fill it. That was new. You want us back? You asked. Yes, she said, but I want us healthy, not scared, not testing each other, not listening to anyone but each other. You stayed quiet. She waited. What did therapy teach you? You asked. That my love was weak, she said. I loved you with fear. Fear you would leave. Fear you would betray me. So I tried to control you. I tested you to protect myself. I hurt you before you could hurt me. That was selfish. You didn't speak. She continued. I learned trust is not a prize to win. It is work. I don't expect you to forgive me. I don't expect you to love me. I just want to show you I can change. You leaned back. Why should I give you another chance? Her breath shook. Because I love you. Because I choose you. Not for show. Not for approval. Not to keep score. I choose you with respect. You watched her hands. They weren't shaking. Her voice stayed steady. Not a performance. Not a test. I still hurt, you said. I think about the day you walked out. It is in my head every hour. I know, she said. I will never erase that. You broke something important. Yes, she said, and I am not asking you to rebuild it alone. You looked at her father. He sat in the corner, silent, giving space. You took a slow breath. Come outside. She followed you to the porch. The air was cool, quiet. You leaned on the railing. She stood beside you. I do not know if I trust you, you said. Some days I want you back. Some days I feel sick thinking about what you did. She nodded. I feel the same about myself. You looked her in the eyes. Do you still have the ring? She took it from her pocket. Shiny again, clean, not new, repaired. I fixed it, she said. The jeweler said rings get stronger when repaired, but they never look the same. You took it from her hand. I am not ready to wear it, you said. That is fair. But I did not come here to throw it away either. Her lips trembled. She held her breath. I want you to come home today, you said. Not as my wife. Not with promises. You come home as someone who wants to work. We start slow. We talk. We tell the truth. And if you lie again, there is nothing left to fix. Tears filled her eyes, but she kept her voice steady. I will tell the truth. No more tests. No more tests. No more games. No more games. You give me respect. You will have it. You stepped closer. If this works, we build something new. Stronger. Not perfect. Not painless, but real. She nodded. I want that. You held out your hand. She took it. Her grip was gentle, careful, scared, honest. You drove her home. The apartment felt different with her inside. She stood in the doorway, looking around like it was a memory. You placed the ring on the table. Not on her hand. Not on yours. You sleep in the guest room, you said. We talk every night. We rebuild piece by piece. She nodded. Thank you. You ordered dinner. She washed the plates after. The house felt warm again, still broken, still healing, but alive. Late that night, she knocked on the guest room door. Can I say one thing? She asked. Say it. She stepped closer. Thank you for not giving up on me. I will spend every day earning the trust I threw away. You nodded. She went to bed. You sat on the couch and stared at the ring on the table. You felt peace for the first time in a long time. Not because everything was fixed, because something was finally honest. Their friends never came back. The tests ended. The marriage changed. It was slow, hard. Some nights filled with pain, some mornings filled with hope. But this time, both of you fought for it. Together. Love breaks. Love heals. Trust can fall apart in one moment and grow back over months. Some couples end fast. Some rebuild slow. If you want more stories about heartbreak, forgiveness, and second chances, check the next episode tomorrow. And for the most emotional stories, download the free collection linked in the description. One of them might feel like your story.